If the Chinese version of Pokemon Unite doesn't merge with the global one in 2026, I don't think it's ever going to happen. Hello everyone, this is the Business back with another video, and today we're going to be talking about the potential merging between the Chinese version of Pokemon Unite and the global one because it's a topic of a lot of discussion and it feels like this is really the perfect time, and in my opinion the last time that the devs have the chance to do this. And I'm going to be talking about why I think that's the case, why 2026 specifically feels like the perfect time to do this. There's a few different reasons, many different reasons, and we'll be going through that. So first of all, we recently had a dev letter from the producer for the 4th anniversary. This happened a few weeks ago, and they talked about a lot of different changes that are potentially coming to the game. We'll have to see how much they stick to these things, whether they stick to the release schedule. I mean, so far it's looking pretty good, but yeah, we'll see if they stay true to what they've said. The release of Groudon in Unite looks promising. We'll have to see how that plays out, and as I'm here recording this, Worlds is going to be happening next week, so I'm guessing they're going to announce these things officially then, and maybe, fingers crossed, they announce that the merging of these versions will happen too. And the reason why this is such a big deal is because, as you may or may not know, Pokemon Unite has been out for 4 years. And the Chinese version of Pokemon Unite is a version of Pokemon Unite only available in China. And there are so many differences. They have so many different game modes, so many different minigames. They have an open world portion too. It's so different and so cool. And it would be very awesome to see these versions interacting with each other. Allowing the players to interact with one another would be incredible, but currently we don't have that ability. But some things are slightly changing. For example, we got the Electrode Volleyball game mode. That is something that was in the Chinese version of Pokemon Unite. And they have many other game modes available, but the Electrode Volleyball is maybe a small step in the direction of slowly integrating these different versions together. And another thing that was pretty big was when ElChicoEevee recently leaked that there are many other game modes that are going to be coming to the global version of Unite. Well, likely coming. These files were apparently found in the global version, and they include different names for certain game modes that are currently in the Chinese version of Unite. So likely coming to the global version as well. We don't know if it'll be on a rotation. I mean, maybe like based on these numbers here, that's what it's based on. Like maybe now it's Electrode Volleyball, next it'll be this ultra rapid fire, or who knows, maybe they'll have lots of these game modes available at once. We don't really know, and we don't even know if this will end up happening, but we do know that there are some, integrations and potential relationships happening here between the global version and the Chinese version of Unite. But so far, all of these things indicate that maybe the versions are slowly coming together. Why do I really think 2026 is the final chance for the two versions to actually merge? Well, that's because of the Asian games. I made a video talking about this where I guess reacted to the announcement that the Asian games is going to include Pokemon Unite among many other very popular esports games like League of Legends, Street Fighter 6, PUBG. I mean, so many well-established games, and then we have Pokemon Unite here, which is kind of crazy to think about. But this is official, right? This is like the Olympics. This is the Asian games, including countries from Asia and many different countries from Asia. This is going to be including a lot of people, and Pokemon Unite is going to be on a very global scale. I mean, Pokemon Unite is showcased in the Pokemon Worlds, of course, but having it as a part of the Olympics, I mean, in my eyes, I would think they want this to be as seamless as possible, for things to be as great as possible for this Asian Games, because they're going to be showcased alongside so many other incredible games, right? So they want it to be as good as possible. And I mean, the biggest reason for why I think this merge is going to be happening is because China is one of the biggest participators in these Asian games, at least in the esports division of the Asian Games. As you can see in the medal table, China has the most medals so far. I mean, the most golds, the most medals overall, just a dominant performance by China in the Asian Games, specifically when it comes to esports. And it would be silly in my eyes if there isn't a merged version including both the global players as well as the Chinese players, because otherwise the Chinese team would be at a severe disadvantage, or the global players would be at a disadvantage depending on what version they're playing. And the Asian Games in 2026 are going to be held in Japan, so we can only assume they're going to be playing the global version. And if China isn't allowed to play or compete at a fair level, if it's not the same version, that just seems crazy to me. I mean, it's possible that maybe the players in China will only be able to practice using the Chinese version, but when they play in the, actual Asian Games, it might be the global version. That is a possibility, but in my eyes, I don't think that would happen. I would like to think they would want all players to be on equal footing, but I personally think that it would be very silly if they didn't allow all players to be on equal footing, especially when it comes to something like the Olympics, because they take things when it comes to equality in terms of playing, in terms of all these different things very seriously. So this is why I ultimately think there has to be a merging between these versions, because this is the ultimate stage for Pokemon Unite, and it's going to be happening in September of 2026, at least the Asian Games. Will we have the merging happen before that? I certainly hope so. Will the merge even happen? Who knows? But if it doesn't happen, if we don't have the merging between these versions before this Asian Games, I honestly don't think it's ever going to happen. And that hurts a lot because we don't know. I feel like this is definitely the way Pokemon Unite can be revived in a lot of ways. It's doing fine, but it has certainly gone down in terms of popularity. But this could be a great way to revive the game if they were to merge these versions. And with the constant new updates that are seemingly going to be taking place according to the letter from the producer, from the increased release schedule, it seems like they're putting a lot more effort into the global version again, which is very exciting, and it indicates that maybe the focus from the Chinese version is going into the global version because they're going to be putting it all together. Of course, this is all speculation. Let me know what you all think. I'm excited. Maybe we get some news about this at Worlds next week. Who knows, but hopefully you all enjoyed this one, and I will be there in the next video. Cheers.